Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I'm very excited because I'm filming my Asian Readathon TBR. Asian Readathon is, if you don't know, a month-long readathon going for the month of May, hosted by with Cindy. And my goal for the month is usually to just have the whole month being only Asian books. And I'm very excited. I have so many good options in this video and also 2 other readathons I am participating in, but also making the Asian for myself. For the readathon itself, there's only 5 official reading challenges. I will talk about those first and then the rest of the Asian books I am reading for the month. The theme for Asian readathon this year is also Everything Everywhere All at Once. Sadly, I haven't been able to watch that movie yet, but hopefully in May, we will see. But the challenges are kind of themed after that this time around. So for the 5 challenges, there's usually this twist that's in the ads where every book you read should be by an author of different Asian ethnicity. So I always follow this for the 5 challenges, but after that I would say I throw it out of the window because I read so much that it would be really difficult for me to withhold that. Let's go through the challenges. So the first challenge is, as always, read a book by an Asian author. Very simple, the bare minimum for this readathon. And for this one, I have chosen out You Reach Sam by Dustin Tao. This one I haven't actually got my physical copy of yet, but I have ordered it. And it is a sad contemporary thing. I think one of the characters dies, then they can still communicate through the phone. And I actually got an e-arc of this and I never read it, so the reason I put it so high on my priority for the month is because I do want to post a review, etc. about the book, for the book, whatever we call it, because, you know, I got that e-arc and I feel bad. So yeah, I'm gonna read that and review it. Not that I don't review every book I read, but like a separate review video was what I was trying to say. And here the author is Vietnamese. For the second challenge, you need to read a Asian book where the character is a older woman. Older than you, not necessarily, but just like it follows an older character, not like a young one, which we usually focus a lot in literature. For this, I just picked actually the one Cindy suggested in the video because I had it and I wanted to read it for May anyway. And that is Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. This one just follows a woman who's not really that old even, but she's 36 and she doesn't have a boyfriend and she just works in a convenience store and is happy with his life, but then everyone kind of criticizes that and like, don't you want more out of your life in a way? And it's like a lot of focus on like how old she is and haven't like done anything yet. I've been curious about it for a while. I was planning to read it, as I said, now anyway, but since it fit the challenge, I was like, thank you Cindy for just giving me the answers I need. And in that one, the author is Japanese. Now, the third challenge was to pick a book that is set in a universe that you want to be in, or just a universe that is different from yours. And for that one, I have chosen out The Ivory Key by Akshaya Raman. And this one is just a story inspired by Indian epics and legends, it seems like, or at least like an Indian setting. So obviously a word different from mine, and also maybe a word I will like to stay in. It says also a country in ruins. I don't know if I actually want to stay there, but we shall see when I read it. And yes, I am starting a new series instead of completing the 150 other ones I have here, okay? Obviously the author is Indian and I want to read it. It seems cute and nice. And yeah, don't judge me, okay? The fourth challenge is to read a book that, I was gonna say, make your eyes go googly because it has a cover that is beautiful. I picked up another book that I was gonna read anyway, but then also Cindy suggested in her video. So I was like, thank you Cindy, again. And that is An Hour to the Moon by Emily X. Arpan. This is the author's newest release and it's a Romeo and Juliet retelling or reinterpretation, as it says here, filled with romance, magic and Chinese mythology, and it's just stunning. Like, it's stunning. So obviously it fits for the challenge and I'm very excited for it. And I was, you know, wanting to read it in May anyway, but now I have it for the challenge and I'm definitely not going to read it. And for the last official challenge for Asian Readathon, we have a book that has a high rating or is highly recommended because the movie has gotten so high ratings, etc. And for this one, I have chosen All My Rage by Sabata Here. This one, last time I checked, had on Goodreads a 4.65 average rating. I would say that's really high. So I'm counting this one. And this seems to just be a story told in 2 different times. We have one point of view told in Pakistan and one in California. And I think it's like an adult fiction book. I'm not actually 100% sure. But like, it's not a fantasy, as you know, and Burn Ashes is by the same author. But I'm just still very excited to read it. Can't believe I still haven't read it, but now it's the time. And the author is Pakistani. And now for more Asian books. Really. So first we have Iron Widow by Shiran Jai Shao, and this one is the Face and Gaze pick for the month of May, which is the book club I'm co-hosting where we read queer sci-fi and fantasy every month and then discuss it in a live show. And this is our pick for May, and I just heard amazing things. I'm almost scared to read it because I feel like I now heard so many hype things that I'm gonna be let down by it, but I feel like I'm gonna love it, and I know it's very queer and just seems amazing, so cannot wait to read this. And to quickly mention it, I am reading one book by a white author for the month, and that is Lowstar, which is the 5th week in the Keeper on the Lost City series by Shannon Messenger. This is only because I am co-hosting Keeperalong and I need to read it because we're gonna have a live show for it, but more information on that is down below. But obviously the one white book had to peek in there, but that's all. Okay, then we just have 2 books here, which is called Out by Natsuo Kirino, as well as A Tale for the Time Being by Ruth Oseki. And both of these I am reading for May, for a thing that you will get to know really soon actually. But yeah, they both are Asian authors, so they fit really in for May. But I was going to read them anyway, but I didn't have time in April, so I moved them over to May. Yay, they're going to be read. I don't know anything about them for reasons, so that's why I can't talk much about them either. Not that I usually do my TBRs anyway. Sorry, this is Sandra who just finished filming and realized I forgot to mention one book I am going to read. I'm still doing Readathon in May, but I'm of course doing that Asian too. The Readathon for May is to read a book that has to do with directions, and for that I'm reading The Girl Beneath the Sea by Axie O. Beneath is a direction, you know. Book haven't arrived yet, which is why I forgot to mention it, but I am going to read that in May too. And I just really felt like adding that because for me it's very important for you to know all the books I'm reading, and I'm gonna leave now. Back to the video. Then we also have some really recent releases I really want to get to, but we will see which one I actually get to. And that is first of all Portrait of a Thief by Grace D. Lee. This one was released not that long ago, and it seems like it could be a high story where they take back Chinese art that has been taken from the West, and also I think it's queer. And I know I'm gonna read this because if I don't read this I will dramatically say I will die, which is Kiss and Tell by Abby Koram. This is the author's new release. Cannot believe I haven't read it yet. I know it's very gay probably, and then I know that it feels like a boy band kind of thing, and you know Abby Koram is one of my favorite authors, and I cannot believe I haven't read this news book, but here we are, and I am for sure gonna read this, I think, after challenges and all the books I just talked about. Also get more new releases in. I have Sakura Ying, also by Siran, coming in, which is like their middle grade that is coming like really soon, and I really do want to read that. It has a middle grade fantasy thing. Then we have An Unreliable Magic by Rinja Pecco. This is, oh, I don't know if this is actually a duology or trilogy, but this will be like the next book in 100 Words from Magic series, and I really want to read that because it's coming out and it has been shipped too, so we will see if I get to it. Then I'm also getting A Magic Steeped in Poison. I heard amazing things about it, but I don't actually remember what. I think it's a fantasy, and it was released like earlier this year, and I just really want to get to it, so hopefully I will. So that's just some new releases I really like have on the top. And then for the first 2 field weeks of May, Final Book Support Group is running, which is hosted by Steph, and it's basically the whole point is to read the final book in a series that you're in the middle of. And I have loads of Asian authors I could get to, but since it's running for 2 weeks, I think that's a bit long because I have so many other books I need to get to. I think I'm going to participate for 1 week and then try to at least get to 5 final books, and maybe 7 if I can read 1 book a day for that week. So the 3 first ones I have decided on for that week I'm participating is The Night of the Dragon by Julia Kagawa, which I'm very excited to read, and it's just set in this world where there's the dragon scroll. Every 1,000 years you can wish upon them, and then everyone is hunting for it in a way. Then we have Our Violent Ends, which finishes up this duology, and this is a Romeo and Juliet retelling set in 1926 in Shanghai, and we have, you know, these 2 gangs up in each other's throats, but then Juliet and Roma needs to work together to investigate these murders, at least in the first book, and then we will see the fallout of that here in the final book in the duology. And then we have Crimson Rain by Emily Van Chow. This is the final book in the Blood Heir trilogy, and it's kind of like an Anastasia inspired story from Russia, and it's just lots of magic and kingdom in peril and stuff like that. But it will be me finishing up this, and also I've been reading this every year for Asian Readathon, so it's nice to, you know, complete the circle. And to be honest, I haven't decided on the last 2 I'm reading for final book, but here is all my final book by Asian authors. there is many options. I think I counted and I had 14 altogether. Some of these finishes a whole series, some of these are just the sequels and nothing more is out after them. Please help me decide which one to read first. Because I'm at least reading 2 more for final book, but I don't know which one. Maybe Champion by Marie Lu, because I have had that series going for so long. But yeah, these are all my options and I want to scream, but I haven't decided yet, but 2 of these at least will be read. And there's a reason I'm showing you so many options as well. I will explain it soon. And then later in the month, we have the next round of Bookoplathon 48-hour version. This is Becca's Bookoplathon, obviously, and I will leave the link to the announcement down below, as well as, of course, Final Book Support Group. But basically, we roll 2 jobs every 12 hours, so you don't know the prompts coming up. And that is a 48-hour readathon, as I said, and I want to read 8 books for those 48 hours. We already know the 2 first drops, so I'm going to show you the books I'm going to read for those. But since I don't know the next 6 ones, I can't pick up my TBR for that. But I have many options for whatever drops will come, which I will show you after showing you those 2 books. The first prompt we got was to read a short book under 300 pages, and for that I'm planning to read If I Had Your Face by Frances Cha. This one is 260 something pages, and I really did want to get to this for the month. I actually had it as one of the 5 books for the main challenges, but then since I saw the prompt drop, I had to switch them around because I didn't find another book that was short. Hopefully we don't get that challenge again, because then I actually don't know what to read, to be honest. And then for next challenge, it was to read a book to do with gods, just like either religious or like technical, or like it was a broad kind of challenge. But I am reading a final book, and that is Arisha and the Nectar of Immortality, which is the 5th and final book in Arisha's series, or the Pandava tetralogy, I think it would be. So I was planning to read this for final book, but then I moved it to Bookoplathon instead. Very excited to finish up this series. Kind of sad about it too, to say goodbye to these characters, but maybe we will see them again in the future, who knows. This is just a stunning and really fun series that I am enjoying so much over the years now, and I can't wait to read the final book. But as I said, there is 6 more drops coming for those 48 hours, and I will, as I said, try to complete 8. If in an emergency and I am behind, I have always manga I could get to. That as long as they fit the prompts, you know. So last year I basically just showed you all the rest of the Asian books on my TBR that are options for the rest of the month. Whatever for Bookoplathon, or if I just read more. Last year I did read 30 books for May. So we will see if I am as good this year. Maybe not, but we will see. So here is basically just a pile of, I would say, fiction books that is like not fantasy. I have all of these options here. So I have some Murakami and some YA contemporary, etc. So all of these will be options for, you know, Bookoplathon, but also just for the rest of the month as we go through. And then, you know, I also have the other final books I showed you earlier. Those could also be, you know, of course, options, but these are just the not final books ones on my TBR. And for fantasy, I do have this whole other pile here as well, with books that I haven't gotten to yet. And these are not final books, obviously, but these are other options for the rest of the month. I do really want to read Jade Fire Gold and This Woven Kingdom, but we shall see. And I have even more books I want to get to. I was thinking like on audiobook and other books I might get for my birthday, which is also in May. So there's many options for the month, but the last thing I will show you is the manga that I'm going to read. Hopefully I will get to start Berserk. I really do want to at least read 1 volume in May, and this is the 4th one, and I have still not gotten 1, 2, 3, so that's why I haven't started yet, or else I would have started in April. But hopefully they will arrive in May. If not, actually we should contact the bookshop, because that would be weird if they haven't arrived. But very excited to start, and I will probably film a vlog of me starting that. And yeah, I do read a manga between every second full novel I read. So yeah, I don't know actually how many books I will read in May, but here are like my next options. I have like a system, but yeah, it would be like Flying Witch and Girl from the Other Side, Demon Slayer, Promised Neverland, Beast Earth. These I think the next one in line. If I read more than this, I have even more manga, and I always buy more manga as well. So it's a whole system. But yeah, these are top priority. But yeah, now you basically seen all my Asian books on my TBR, even though I actually have some more Murakami and Marie Lu, I think. And you know, I could always reread books by Asian authors too. There's so many options. Hopefully this could be some nice suggestions for your Asian May Readathon TBR, but I also do have 2 videos on my channel where I recommend in 150 and another 130 Asian books, so you can check those out if you want more suggestions. Other than that, I will leave you here. Thank you so much for watching. Very excited for Asian Readathon, mixing it together with fun book support group as well as Bookoplathon, and just read a lot. Thank you so much for watching this. Leave a huge smiley face emoji down below if you enjoyed this, because we are very happy that it is Asian Readathon again, and you will see me soon in a new one. Bye!